like, even after I fell, I kind of took a lot of responsibility for that event. Like, that was all something that was within my own control. Do you know what I mean?
This is Climbing Gold. I remember having a day with you up on the down climb where I think you failed on the down climb that
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
and then we wrapped. That was the
Mhm.
day we got stuck in a thunderstorm or whatever,
That
right?
was the day with the hail
Yeah, that was
and
like
the
still the most serious rain I think I've ever experienced in an El Cap.
and so sudden. And that
Yeah,
guy was
it
in the
was.
monster and he was there for the whole storm.
Oh, I don't remember that guy. That guy must have had a character
There
building
was a guy
experience
in the
for
middle of
sure.
the monster and we were just looking at him. And then we like after the storm was over, we were like, oh my God, he's still there.
Dude, he was. I'm surprised he didn't get flushed because all I remember is that it felt like we were whitewater rafting or something. Like when you put your foot against the wall, like
Waterfall.
flumes of water came up. Like it
Complete
was crazy.
waterfall.
Yeah, it was insane.
I
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in here because I feel like hearing you guys talk about that moment with the thunderstorm, and then Emily, you're like, well, it's really the filmmakers, but like I'm calling BS here because like the truth of it is like I've watched a lot of climbing films, and one, this was like really like it was very open and it was very real and it showed the struggle. And like a lot of crazy shit happened like through this whole process, this journey that you took with this route. And a lot of people would have quit at some point and been like, let's figure out how to make a different film or
Yeah,
whatever it is, right?
totally.
We'll
Totally.
just like
Like,
spin it. She's gonna quit, but we'll like spin it into something
yeah.
meaningful.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think that when I watched this film, I felt like resiliency was a superpower of yours, where a
Yeah.
lot of really bad things happened. You got really hurt on one of the attempts. I mean, you had to ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Because this is actually one, really hard, and two, kind of dangerous. And clearly, you know, at some sort of limit for you. So I just don't want you to undersell that because I thought that was a really cool element of this film of like it's pretty badass. And a lot of people are really going to resonate with how much you work to do. And I'm curious, like, did you ever think about quitting in this whole process? Because when I watch the film and I see what you went through, I'm like, damn, that's a lot.
I don't think I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. I am proud of it. Like I don't want to dismiss that. I just feel like, there's I don't know. I'm just like it was really hard for me and it was really a cool journey for me to go through and I'm just like really grateful that I had all the support that I had to be able to pursue it. So no, I didn't really think about quitting because I just was always motivated and always inspired by it, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't like even after I fell, I kind of took a lot of responsibility for that event. Like that was all something that was within my own control. Do you know what I mean? Like that was a mistake that I made by like running it out too much and kind of like moving too fast and forcing myself to climb on a day that I really didn't want to go climbing. So it was all this stuff that happened that I was like, "Oh, I can totally change things in the future and prevent that from happening." And like, yeah, it might be hard and I might get scared, but I can totally like change the situation to make it better. It's not like this random occurrence that is uncontrollable. So I guess I always felt like I had a lot of agency over the the goal itself and like the risk I was taking and I just always felt like it was something that I wanted to see through to completion and I just yeah, I don't know. It never really crossed my mind. I remember John asking me after I fell like, "Okay, like no pressure, like, you know, he kind of assumed that I was gonna quit." And I was just like, "Well, I don't know, like, let me give it 6 months and I'll go back and try again and I'll fix some things and I'll get better and I'll just get better." And I think I don't know, I surround myself with a lot of people who are just so much better at this stuff than me, like Alex, like, Jordan Cannon, people who are just so competent up there, and I think I've always really, been inspired by that and sort of envied that and wanted to be like that, and so for me, this was, like, my journey towards that.
Mhm. For those of people like that don't know, like how bad was the fall? Like I don't mean to make you guys like relive that moment. You obviously shared that together, and like but like how traumatic was that?
I think it was more traumatic for people who witnessed it.
Yeah, man, seeing the film again and hearing the audio and everything, I was like, oh God, I was like, oh, it's terrible. It's like terrible.
It's like when something bad happens to you and you get in an accident and you lose consciousness or whatever. Like I fell 50 feet and hit my head and lost consciousness and had to be full rescue. But I actually got super lucky and I walked out of the hospital that night, um, against kind of all odds. Like it's kind of crazy that there was absolutely nothing wrong with me
Yeah,
except
yeah.
for a
What were your
concussion.
actual injuries? Yeah, you had a
A
concussion
concussion.
and you were a little banged up,
Oh, and I
like you were
had like a
bleeding and stuff. Oh,
crazy
yeah, the crazy rope burn around your
rope burn
neck, which
on my
was
neck.
obviously disconcerting. It looked like you'd been hung.
Yeah,
But
I had a rope burn like along my neck because I guess I flipped upside down and hit the rope with my neck
uh,
and it like rubbed all across. But I
but
think
we're
it was definitely like watching the film now, it's pretty traumatic to watch. It's like hard to watch for me. I often like look away or,
yeah, skip
you
the
know,
scary parts
sometimes I
for
like
sure.
leave the theater when that part comes on.
But was that really the extent of the injuries? Just a concussion and that crazy rope burn,
Yeah, and like some other,
like
superficial things.
aches and
I
pains?
think I like tore a ligament in my arm and I thought my arm was broken. That was my number one complaint was like my arm's broken, but it wasn't even broken. It just like stretched out some ligaments or something.
Huh?
It was crazy. Like it was kind of crazy. I went to the hospital and they were like, "She fell how far?" Like, what do you mean? Like how was she, like they thought it was going to be way
But they
worse.
also probably thought that you landed on the ground, and you're like, no, no, I fell
Yeah.
50 feet, and then like got caught
Hit
by a
the
rope and just like
Yeah,
hit the wall. Yeah, it's confusing to try to explain
it
a
is
whip like that
confusing.
because they were like, yeah. Yeah, but I remember we visited. Well, that ended our Valley season that year too. Sonny was
Yeah.
like, "And we're over it," and we just like packed up the van and left, and then we visited you in the hospital on the way out, and
Yeah,
we
we
were
all
like,
went
"Oh,
to
geez,
Fresno.
yeah, yeah." It's like,
Had a
what a
night in
day.
Fresno.
Yeah, start the morning on El Cap, end the day in Fresno. That's the best type of Yosemite finish.